Hunters say that killing rhinos, lions, elephants, hippos, and other vulnerable and endangered animals will actually help protect the species. What? Howdy humans, Trace here for DNews. In 2011, GoDaddy CEO Bob Parsons was the target. Last year, it was newscaster Melissa Bachman, and this year, it's Texas cheerleader Kendall Jones. Hunters killing big game are attacked every year online, and with good reason. It's difficult to wrap our collective heads around the killing of endangered animals. Over 61,000 people as of Tuesday have signed a petition to remove Miss Jones' Facebook page, claiming it's encouraging animal abuse. But in the end, hunters and conservationists aren't really at odds. They're like frenemies. Modern conservation is an expensive business. Reserves must be maintained, policed, and the animals protected. Governments have to be lobbied to create discouragingly high penalties for poaching, and then enforce those poaching laws. We're not even talking about the millions of dollars spent on conservation educational campaigns. When pictures like this hit the internet, people freak out. But hunters claim by taking a few trophies, they're actually helping to keep conservation alive. Price tags for legal hunting range from $350,000 for a black rhino trophy permit auctioned to the highest bidder, it was the Dallas Hunting Club by the way, to as low as $10,000 to hunt a lion that was bred in captivity specifically for the hunters. As of 2007, 23 African nations allowed sport hunting, and over 18,000 tourists paid $200 million to those countries to hunt lions, leopards, elephants, warthogs, water buffalo, impala, rhinos, and so on. Conservationists are trying to balance the cost of operations with the protection of animals, and they aren't having a good time of it. According to National Geographic, there is 22% more area protected in those 23 African nations for hunting than there are for national parks. More money on the conservation side could change that. To try and raise money, conservationists turn to deep-pocketed hunters. The Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species allows South Africa and Namibia, for example, to sell 5 permits per year for the hunting of adult male black rhinos. They're not the only ones. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service say the sale of hunting licenses, tags, and stamps is the primary source of funding for most state wildlife conservation efforts. In 2005, the profit from duck permits alone was enough to purchase 5 million acres for use as a wildlife refuge. Scientists also cite a paper in the Journal of International Wildlife Law and Policy, which found South African white rhino populations increased from less than 100 in 1900 to more than 11,000 today, in small part due to legal hunting practices, which created a financial incentive for people to allow the animal onto their land. A black rhino, which could no longer breed, was dominating a reserve in South Africa. It was killing breeding-capable males and chasing away others, and it was hurting their conservation efforts. They found a hunter to buy one of those 5 black rhino permits, and thanks to his efforts, they made money to help the reserve while removing a conservation issue. However, financial incentives aren't always used for good. Wild lion populations are down 80% in the last 20 years, and both captive populations and exported lion carcasses have skyrocketed. According to a 2009 study in conservation biology, 92% of the decimation of the lion population in Tanzania was due to poorly managed sport hunting. That's a huge percentage. Hunting itself isn't bad. It's how many in the world eat, and they support their families that way. Back in my home state of Michigan, opening day of deer season was basically a state holiday, let's be honest. And though I never agreed with killing for fun and profit, the populations will get out of control if humans don't do something. While it's sometimes not comfortable to look at, and it's not always the best way to manage a wild animal population, hunting can be useful to conservationists when it's done right. Tell us why you feel that way on Twitter @DNews, and thanks a lot for watching.